Parshas Lech Lecha, Hashem instructs Avram. First time we're seeing the connection between Kodesh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, and he tells Avram that Avram, the famous tzivoy, Lech Lecha me'artzecha, mi'mevoladetecha, mi'beis avicha, el ha'oros asher ar'eka. Cut off all of your previous connections to anything that you've done until now, and we're going to take you someplace else, and we're starting a new life for you. Skip down a couple of psukim, and we're going to say, Vayelech Avram, Pasuk Daled, Kasher Diber Elov Hashem, Vayelech Ito Lot. Avram ben Chamesh Shonim, V'shivim Shana, B'tseso Mecharon. A pasuk which requires tremendous elucidation, far more complicated than it appears on the surface. He was Naim La Torah, the Lutzker Rav. His name is Rav Zalman Sorotzkin. I've quoted him many times in the past. One of my favorite sfarim on the Torah, Naim La Torah. Everyone should have a set. Asks a series of very penetrating and very pointed questions, which makes you think, how come I didn't think of that? Vayelech Avram kasher diber elov Hashem. First question he says to us is, what's the pasuk telling you? Is there any other reason that Avram would have gone? Why do you have to tell me kasher diber elov Hashem? That's question number one. Question number two, Vayelech ito Lot. Lot went along with him. But didn't he just say, you should leave your whole family behind? And he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Avram in the first pasuk, Umi beis avicha. Lot is from beis avicha. Why is he bringing him along? Or why is he coming along? How did he bring him along with him? Next question. V'Avram ben Chamesh Shon v'Shivim Shon b'Seisel Mecharon. Gives us his age. Why is the pasuk telling us his age now? To what difference would that make? Number one. Number two, if you would have left that out, it would go like this. Vayelech Avram kashit de'berelav Hashem, vayelech ito Lot, b'tseisel Mecharon, or Mecharon. So this recitation of Avram's age breaks up the recitation, or the narrative of Avram's leaving. What purpose is served by giving us his age in the middle of this pasuk? Okay? Lot's taina to Avram was, I also believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I believe in your God, Avram, and I would like to help you in your quest, in your destiny, likro b'shem Hashem, to call in Hashem's name. Okay? Now, he brings down, fascinatingly enough, if we're going to say in a pasuk or two later, that when Avram left, and he took V'sanefesh asher asu v'charon, he took along with him all of the people he was Megayer, so certainly he would say, his nephew is a Kolshkein, would certainly be included. So that isn't, why is Lot coming along? Okay? And therefore, that answers the question why Avram had to bring Lot along, because he's bringing along all the other Nefashos. Okay? However, the Pasuk reveals to us in a very subtle fashion Lot's ulterior motive. What was Avram's motive? To do Devar Hashem. What was Lot's motive? Vayelech Avram kasher diber elav Hashem. But that's not what Lot had. And it says, Vayelech ito Lot. As we know many times in the Torah, the difference between ito, with him, and imo, with him. In English, it's the same. But ito means to go with him for your own purposes, and imo means with one motive, for exactly the same reason. Imo is a far more tight, a far greater connection than ito. So Lot was going ito. Okay, it was a very, very superficial connection, and not the same thing as imo. Therefore, he went for his own purposes and not for the machshava of Lot. What was Lot's purpose? Why did Lot want to come along with Avram? The answer is, for Avram ben Chamesh Shana v'Shivim Shana b'Seisel Mecharon. That's the answer. Avram is 75 years old. As we say in the lingo, he's no spring chick, lahavdil. He's not a young man. Which fool would leave his uncle? Remember something. Yitzchak is not around yet. Right now, aside from Sarah, who's not a Yoresh, he is his closest living relative. He's his Yoresh. He's a rich man. There's all the reason in the world to stick with him. He's going someplace. He's taking his wealth with him. I'm coming along. So therefore, that's why it says Lot. His actual purpose was not because of his wanting to do what Avram does. He was a different kavanah completely, and that was to do what was good for him. In Sefer Devarim, we have the famous pasuk, V'halachta b'drachav. We have to go in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's ways. We understand that we do everything that Hashem does because we cannot really understand Hashem, but we follow in His ways. Rachum Chanun das Chesed. This pasuk, starting from the beginning of our creation of Klal Yisrael, of Avram Avinu, our first of the Avos, tells you V'halachta b'drachav means literally Avram went in Hashem's way because that's what Hashem told him to do. A literal translation of the words that we've always learned for these years. V'halachta b'drachav means you follow in Hashem's ways because that is the Ratzon Hashem. We follow everything that Hashem tells us because we want to do Ratzon Hashem. If we can get up to that madrega, which Avram Avinu was, and we can aspire to that greatness, we will not have ulterior motives. We all do things for our own ulterior motives. We always identify with Avram and we say, Lot. Look at that. Self-seeking. Aren't we all like that to some degree? Let us work on ourselves to aspire to the level of Avraham Avinu and to be better people and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'lev shalim with a full heart. Good Shabbos.